Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Armand back again for E equals MCU. And we have a bit of breaking news that broke earlier today by way of Andy Signor. And he did this through Fandom Wire, which is a site he writes for. He broke down some Fantastic Four casting news and an update on that. So I just wanted to get into what the casting news was exactly. It wasn't really specifically any one person, even though there's been people tied to it. But in the article, he did say that Emily Blunt and John Krasinski are for sure out. And that's not really a surprise because Emily Blunt did give the interview about 2 months ago, saying that it just wasn't really up her alley. And you know, she said if she was going to do it, it had to be something really cool, but she was just kind of not really feeling the whole superhero movie thing. And John Krasinski has long said that he wanted to do something, but they had given an interview last year just saying how taxing it would be on their family. I mean, you got to understand that these two are actually married to each other. And then, you know, even though they did the Quiet Place together, you know, committing to something like 6 films or 9 films or probably 12 and being a core part of the future of the MCU would be pretty taxing on both of them, especially if they ever had to, you know, one do one and one not do one as an appearance or whatever the case may be. So that's something that it sounds like they're not going to do. I was hearing that John Krasinski was going to be the Captain America for the Multiverse of Madness movie because he was up for that role when Chris Evans was. So, but this report that Andy Signor is reporting on is basically just stating that they're looking for actors in their 20s or 30s, and they're looking to cast actors of color. That's not a big surprise to me, but what they're basically saying is that they're going to keep Sue Storm and Johnny Storm brother and sister, so they'll be the same race, but they're just saying that they could be Asian, they could be Latin, or Hispanic. And I could see them wanting to go that route. And it's just because, they're really trying to diversify the MCU, which some like, some do not like. Me personally, I think that you have to be careful when you're race bending characters. But it's about the character. It's about, is there any characteristics of this character that say that they have to be a white, or if they have to be black, or if they have to be a certain ethnicity. With some characters, that's a big part of their story. That's who they are, like with Black Panther, or somebody like White Tiger, or a hero of that kind of thing, or even like perfect example is Miss Marvel. So that does come into play. I do wish that they would just maybe highlight and accentuate the characters that they have already in the comics, and see, this goes both ways, because the argument is always, well, create an original character like Miles Morales, and even there was an issue with that because he was still a Spider-Man, And the thing about it is, what people don't understand is when they tried this, Marvel tried this, they've been doing this for a while now, and those comics a lot of the times don't sell unless they really hit. It really comes down to having a good story and a good character and creating new one. It's always harder to create something new than it is to just go back and redo a formula that's already been done. I mean, that's what Hollywood is all about. That's what they've been doing. So you can't really be too mad about that from a film standpoint. But it would be nice to see them maybe take a character that wasn't as popular in the comics and just really do their branding on it, which is why I'm really kind of excited about Ironheart to see how that's received, because she wasn't all that popular when she debuted, but it's just to see how people react to the live action version of her. But they really should take characters or create original characters, especially now since Feige's the head of all of Marvel. He can definitely create new characters and then put them in the films and TV shows and see how that works out. But you guys got to understand, like, a lot of people say, well, why don't you create new characters? But then when they create the new characters, they don't necessarily connect. And that's kind of the problem you have, because this is business. This is about money. And a lot of the people who support certain characters, they only support characters that they see themselves in, or that they're likeness to. Some people do not have to, they don't necessarily have to see the world through the colored glasses of someone else. They could just look at their own rose-colored glasses and just be fine with it. So it's a two-edged sword, and it goes both ways. But anyway, that's the news as far as what they're reporting for, what they're going to do with Fantastic Four. Let me know down in the comment section. Does this just make you mad? Does this make you want to boycott Fantastic Four? Are you excited to see what this is going to be, how they're going to support it? And for me personally, I just want to see what the story is going to be and how they're going to blend them in with the rest of the MCU, especially going that young. But let me know down in the comment section how you feel about it. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out.